help some college down the road to be able to be a special part of their team. And Jacob, I welcome you to the show here today.
Thank you, Bobby.
Let's talk a little bit about the transition of what it was like for you to find out that you could play with all your old friends from the Franklin County Hockey Association when this group of kids were able to be a group of all the kids of Franklin County hockey.
Yeah, my freshman year, wasn't expecting to have the co-op really, and then we got the news that it was we got to go for it, and I mean, you can't say no to playing hockey with all your old buddies again. We're in the same uniform and working together towards one goal.
You know, and I always tell people that there's only one guy that I know besides you who can literally shatter glass, and that was a kid by the name. I don't know if you ever heard of this name, Adam, but his name is Jeff Sullivan. And Sully, back in the day of the 80s, the kid had a slap shot like a guy named Jacob Bryant. And those two guys were just amazing. So let's talk a little bit about what your game plan is. What's your game plan? What's your game plan? What's your game plan for once you get done with high school here? Do you have a game plan of what you're looking at being able to do? Or do you want to play hockey at a school, or has that been something you've thought about?
Yeah, I mean, I've sat back and.
Oh, what happened? Oh, we are. Okay. Okay, guys. Coach, I'm going back to you, and then we'll go back to Jacob. Sorry, guys. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I want to say that we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but I want to welcome you to the Franklin County Varsity Sports Report. I'm Bobby C., and I'm here with the GHS Hockey Team 2021. Talk about a team that had been special. Last year, they win their first state championship ever in program history, and they made history again this year, being the only undefeated team in GHS history. And hey, time to bring on the coach. I'd like to welcome Coach Adam Bouchard. How we doing, Coach?
Hi, Bobby C. Very well. Thank you for having these wonderful student athletes and our program to be able to join today.
You know, you and I had a chat when we first started this co-op program, and all of a sudden now, a few years later, look what you guys are doing today. Now you guys are sitting here making history all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's really amazing. You know, I really am proud of these student athletes, right? That's really where it falls on. Each and every single one of these student athletes that's come through this program really shows what it takes in order to really work hard, be a family, really have one goal in place. And there's nothing better than the leaders that you see on your screen here today that have really helped not only last year's team, but, what we were able to do this year as well in this very strange winter season we had.
I want to remind everybody that the best part about being involved in athletics, and the one thing that I've always preached myself as a coach for the past 25 years, is that you build friendships, you build trust, and you also build the opportunity to be able to build achievements together. And when you can take that into your adult life, it's pretty amazing on what you can be able to achieve as an individual, and to be able to work with coworkers that can hopefully, benefit everybody and be able to build us to be better people. And that's what I feel about sports.
We really couldn't agree with you more than that, really. You look at all these student athletes, if you think about it, coming from 8 different schools, right, when it comes to their high school education, but they all started playing hockey together at one point in time through the SCHA program here. And when you really look at it, when you really put it together, what we're trying to accomplish here as a coaching staff is really to create positive community members once these student athletes graduate high school and move and, continue on with their lives. And when you really see a group of student athletes come together, work really hard, support each other, because not every day is, bright and sunny. So there's some really hard days, and we always joke about it. And I know some of these student athletes are probably going to miss No Puck Mondays, as we have a few graduating seniors here. But, to really work hard, put together a single goal, and to do it together is something that we're hope that these student athletes take forever. When they graduate, when they continue on with life, when they become have their own families and become positive role models in society. We really want them to look at it. And I know, Jacob, it's one of your favorite sayings is, we know if you do it the Green Wave way, good things will happen. And it's proof to show that what's happened in these short 5 years of this co-op. So I'm very, really proud of all these student athletes.
I tell people all the time that it's a different situation for people when you see a Greenfield guy who's been living in Greenfield his whole life, going to Deerfield Elementary, and then he goes into the Frontier school system, and that is Jacob Bryant. And the best part about me and Jacob Bryant is I've had a chance to be his Little League coach, and we had a chance to build friendship together. And of course, I had the opportunity to spend some time with MJ Paulin as well and be able to coach him and also work with his dad. So I've had this opportunity to know a lot of these kids. And one other kid on your team who's not in the room right now that I've also coached was Derek Lanois. And so I've been very fortunate to be able to have some pretty cool relationships with some of these kids. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Jacob on, my good buddy, and we're going to have a little chat here about how he feels about the big start of getting literally the Franklin County Hockey Association, the kids that you were able to grow up with, all being able to play under the Green Wave team. Let's talk about that, Jacob. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, this is awesome. You got an opportunity to be able to play with all those kids you grew up with, and they were all going to be on the same team to represent Greenfield High School. Even though we could honestly say that it's literally, in my eyes, it's a Franklin County team. It just has to go under one name, and it goes under Greenfield Green Wave. But let's be honest, it's just a group of young men that are representing what I feel, one organization, Franklin County Hockey. Absolutely where you started.
Yes. All of us come together from 8 different schools and wear the Greenfield jersey, but it's a bunch of us who've grown up together, played hockey together our whole lives, and we all came back to wear the same uniform one more time and work towards a goal, and turned out pretty well for us.
State championship, brother. That was crazy. And you know what the crazy thing is? It happened right before COVID, man. You guys just slipped in under the wire, bro. You guys weren't going to be able. Excited about watching you and your hockey, even though I was your baseball guy. It was great to be able to see you do a game that I know you love, and I know that you've always loved and enjoyed. And, I always told everybody that you've always been a leader, and that's people always looked up to you, Jacob. And I'm glad that you're with a group of kids that you know really well, and that you guys can all continue to have trust in each other to keep this program going. I know you're losing 6 seniors this year on your team, but I look at the whole process of who's coming back. You still got a lot of talent that's still going to be coming back in this upcoming year for next year.
Oh, of course. I mean, we always have talent. Every kid comes in working hard, wanting their spot. It's a brotherhood. I mean, we all love each other. We all work for each other. So from the best guy in the team to who's not, I mean, they work just as hard as each other to make themselves better every day.
Well, I love you, man, and I'm very proud of what you've been able to do, and I want you to continue to keep having fun. Listen, this is the time where you enjoy the best time of your life, man. So keep on enjoying, all right?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. I'm going to roll over, and I want to talk coach to Kyle Barnes. Let's talk to Kyle for a minute. Is Kyle in the house? All right. Hey, listen, man. What a year, dude. So proud of you, brother. You had a great year on the ice this year. And you know what? talking about leadership, this is where the seniors come in. They're captains. They gotta sort of set the tone. In the year that you had, what do you had 12 goals and 8 assists? You have 20 points on the year, something like that. That's a phenomenal season, bud. But you know what the most important thing is when the chips were down in some of these games, you guys found the grit and you guys found a way to be able to either win. And I just can't believe the comeback in that South Hadley game. That was an amazing thing that you guys were able to turn around. Let's talk about some of the highlights of your senior year on this hockey team.
Well, you mentioned the South Hadley game. That was definitely one of them, that 3-goal comeback. Something that we've always found ourselves winning in those situations, and to find the strength within us and the adversity come back. That was a great win. We were able to beat our rivals like Southwick and Amherst 3 times, so that was good. And then of course the home opener against Chicopee. I mean, you always remember those home openers, and to be able to get the 4-2 win, that was huge to start the season off right.
You know what the best part about this whole group is that you guys all have been able to share a lot of memories over the years. But did you ever think as a kid, when you were going through the process of going up into high school hockey, did you think that you would ever be able to know that you'd be able to play with all of your old brothers that you used to play hockey with and travel with and hang out in a hotel with and be able to go swimming at tournaments and stuff? Did you think that would ever happen with the way that things were set up back then when you first got started in your, youth years?
No, I had no idea. I'm a Frontier guy, so I thought I was going to end my career playing for the Turners Falls hockey team. But when I heard the news back my freshman year, it was a little emotions of everything. It was excitement, nervousness because coach, new coaching staff and everything. But that was really overtaken by excitement because I got to be with my old friends and then work for a common goal.
Well, you surely work for a common goal. Hey, state championship and undefeated season this year. Boy, you're going to be leaving the program with a lot of great memories. But I think the one thing you're going to miss the most is this brotherhood. Yeah,
that's the thing you're going to miss the most. Of course, actually playing hockey, you're going to miss it. But the thing that I'm probably going to miss the most is just, the locker rooms before practice, before games, bus rides down to away games. That's what you're really going to miss. And when I graduate and I don't have that, that's the part that I'm probably going to look back at most and wish I had more time.
You're a good athlete, man. You're a great guy too. And I've been very happy to be able to cover you in sports over the years, especially watching you come up through and seeing the talent that you have. You're just a multi-talented guy like Brian is. You guys love your sports, and you come from what I call one of the most special sports schools in all of Western Mass at Frontier Regional. I mean, what more can you say? I mean, you guys come from a great-hearted place that people want to achieve themselves to being bigger and better over there. And now you get to bring it to the GHS hockey rink over at Collins Moylan and be able to use your leadership as a senior to help this team literally get to a point where they made history. And you were a huge part of that, brother. And I want you to know that I'm very proud of what you've been able to achieve this year.
Yeah, thank you.
And also, where are you going next, bud? What's the game plan?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm probably going to be going to college somewhere. I don't think I'll be playing any sports, though, but it's really uncertain right now.
All right. So no sports, huh? No?
No, if I were to play a sport, it would probably be baseball, not hockey, though.
Which is something you're very good at, man. And that's why I've been able to follow your journey, because you know me, doing high school baseball, been able to do your games and being able to see what you do. And hey, what better guy than Skinny to keep you going down there, right? Looking forward to seeing you here in the spring as well. Congratulations on a great year. Very proud of you, Kyle.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Hey, let's bring in Devin. Devin Niles, is he in the house today?
He is not there, Bobby.
He couldn't make it. Okay. Coach, you want to say a few words about our great guy, Kyle Barnes, before we go to our next guest?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you look at these two graduating seniors that are on the line with us here today, right, they were able to come into this program their freshman year, like they said, starting something new, right? They came in and they started something new as freshmen. And when you look through what these student athletes were able to accomplish, I'm extremely proud of them for turning into the leaders and the great young men that they're going to bring this positive and this really great green wave, if you will, out to society. And when you really want to talk about the sport of hockey and what this senior class was able to do, we talk about it. We've talked about it all year in our private pregame meetings, but we'll kind of let it out. So when you want to look at something really, really amazing accomplishment from these seniors, and Barnesy and Jacob were huge attributes of this, was, yes, state championship last year. Yes, a undefeated season this year. But when you look at how these seniors graduated this year, they finished their high school career with 60 wins, 11 losses, and 5 ties. Something that is unbelievable. And, no better guys to lead this with Jacob and Kyle. And then you'll have the likes of Kevin and MJ, as alternate captains on the team as well this year, coming through the program. And it's really been amazing to watch. Jacob, we talked about it. I really look forward to what you're going to do in your life moving forward. Kyle as well. Told both of you boys, it's been a pleasure to coach you. And not only were you student athletes on this team, but I'm also proud to say that you're my friends, and I can't wait to see what you bring.
I could see why you could be friends with those two gentlemen, because they are two wonderful men that have been able to prove their leadership, and you were very lucky to have that. MJ Paulin, come on down, my brother.
Hi, Bobby. How you doing today?
Hey, good, buddy. Oh, I love the hat, kid. How you doing?
I'm
First
doing all
of
right.
all, I want to say, I know that one thing that I've noticed about you over the last 2 years is you literally grew about 3 or 4 inches. So you became this really important defenseman for your team, in the fact that you got such, you got your long arms, you got your long legs, but you also have, your stick. There's a way for you to be such a better defender at being able to have grown the way you've grown. And I know that defense is so important in any kind of hockey program. And I really feel that with you guys being able to, do as well as you've done with defense and only let up 19 goals for the season, that is a real contribution to your defense team over at GHS, which I know you've been a big part of. And I just want to say you did an amazing job.
Thank you very much. Our defensive side, we put in as much effort as we can every practice. We do about 20, 30 minutes of defensive work, and it really shows how much we try and put that effort in.
When you look at the goal difference of what you guys were able to do with scoring goals, and then you look at other teams, I mean, you guys totally dominated. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you guys ended up with 57 goals on the year, and you only let up 19. If you really add the ratio, it's like 3-1. That's a pretty good ratio when you can be 3-1 in high school hockey. So it's a testament to how good your offense was, but it's also a testament that how good you guys have done on the defensive end. And that's where you come in, bud.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have a very well-rounded team. We all work together pretty well, and I think our chemistry has definitely gotten a lot stronger throughout my high school career. We've been able to generate a lot, especially this year, having a late start and getting onto that grind, pretty late. But we came out on top, and, it's something to work for the next upcoming season as well, keeping that chemistry going and keeping that pressure sustained on our opponents.
Absolutely. I'm going to bring this into you because you and I have had many talks about, your hockey, because I know hockey's been a big part of your life. What was it like to be able to have an opportunity to play on a championship team, knowing that it was a bunch of guys that you played with back in the day over at the Franklin County Hockey Association? And I know that you guys did a lot of traveling with your family, and, you guys were gone for many weekends going to these great tournaments, knowing that when you got into high school, you are all going to be able to come back as one and be that family again.
Yeah, it was very fantastic. It was a really an exhilarating season, and we put as much pressure and effort into our games as we could, and it carried us a long way. Finally making team history last year with our state championship. It was a feeling you'll never forget.
Absolutely. No, you'll never forget that for the rest of your life. And now you get to be able to say in 76 years, GHS first undefeated season. I mean, you got a couple of things that you're going to be able to take away as you're getting ready to wind down your senior year at GHS. And boy, what memories better than what you have here? You know, it's been a lot of fun. And I know that hockey's always been a big part of your life, MJ. It's always been. And you're one of those guys that even has a rink in the back of your yard. And I don't even know if it's still there. Are you guys still got that thing in the back of the yard anymore? Or did Dad finally shut it down?
A couple years ago, coming into high school, we were planning to keep it up, but the high school hockey team, kept me extremely active and working and everything every single day of the week almost. So it was hard to keep it maintained. But in the meantime, for the first season I had in my freshman year, we left it up. I used it as much as I could.
Good.
It paid off.
But that paid off, brother. That totally paid off for you, And now you got your sister, who's one hell of a pitcher, by the way, and she's got a quite bright future. And let me tell you, Greenfield's going to be very lucky when they have a girl by the name of Mackenzie Pollen throwing the heat over there at the ball field right next to the rink. MJ, you've been a friend. I love you, buddy, and congratulations. And what's your game plan for you moving on for next year?
For next year, I'm planning on going back to the high school and finishing out my classes and everything. I'm also planning to take 2 AP courses again next year. And from there on, I'll apply to a bunch of colleges, hopefully get into one that I like.
I want you to get to a better place, buddy, because I'm very proud of what you've been able to do. And I hope that you understand how important these memories are in your young age, because it's something that down the road you'll be able to tell your kids. And they're going to be pretty cool when they find out that Dad was on literally a championship team and also on the best team in GHS history in 76 years. You got a lot to offer when you give that information to your children. And send the best to the family. I love you, buddy.
All right, I will. Thank you for having me today.
Hey, you're welcome. All right. Shane Prusak, where are you, buddy?
What's up?
How you doing, bud?
Good. How are you?
Another great year for you too, buddy. You look at what you did. Yeah, 11 assists. You're the assist master this year. You're like you were setting everybody up. The setup king. How that? I'm going to call you the setup king. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
You you worked with a bunch of guys that you've known, and what has your experience been, Shane?
The experience on the high school team has been really good. I've always, for 2 years that I've been there, I've always been on a line with 2 guys that just instantly we got chemistry with. So I've been lucky to have that. And
what do you feel was your biggest role on this GHS team this year?
Probably just this year and last year, I feel like the line that I've been on, our role was always to create a lot of offense, but also be a lot of help in the defensive zone too.
That and let's go by that number I told you earlier. I mean, 57 goals for, 19 against, 3-to-1 ratio. That was this year. Yeah, I mean, if you look in hockey, 3-to-1 ratio, that is huge. That's a big number. And I know Coach Bouchard can even tell you that that's a huge number, a 3-to-1 ratio in hockey. So you look at what you guys were able to achieve this year. You sort of just took the page that ended the part of the book that you guys closed the book with last year with a state championship, opened up the new book of 2021 under a very tough COVID situation. And look what you did. Undefeated season at 10-0-1.
Mm-hmm. We definitely made the most of it.
You sure did. And what's your biggest act? What do you feel has been the best in you being able to grow to be the best hockey player that you could be? Part of your work ethic.
I feel like being a part of the Greenfield team, just in practice, we just take our game to the next level, and we take practice maybe even more serious than we do in games. So that's definitely a big part of all our success.
It's funny that you say that, because as a coach, we've always said the way you play in practice is usually the way you end up playing in the game. And if you feel that you guys have been able to put in the work in practice, you're most likely going to be able to do that in a game. And you guys have surely proven that you guys have been able to do that over the past 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to say about where you feel the program's going for next year?
I feel like we have it's going to be a very positive, and we have a lot of young players on this team, and I think there's a good class coming in. So the program definitely has a bright future, and it has for a while.
You know, someone said to me one day, they said, I remember when Greenfield hockey was really good back in the 1980s. And then I see that they had a couple of good years and they ended up winning a Western Mass championship. That was back in the 90s, early 2000s, around there. And I said, yeah, but you ain't seen nothing yet until you've seen Franklin County hockey all together as one. And the guy said, yeah, I saw they won a state championship last year. This is when we were chatting. And he goes, you think they'll have hockey this year? I said, they will have hockey this year. And you guys were able to fight through the elements and to be able to get a lot of games in. Honestly, I was impressed that you guys were still even able to get 11 games in with everybody else in basketball only getting 8 games. So you guys were pretty fortunate to get what you guys even were able to get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like I said before, we definitely did as much as we can. I mean, we made history this year in only an 11-game season. So, yeah.
You got a lot of future ahead of you, bud. And I want to say a big congratulations to you on your great achievements with this team. And I can't wait to be able to see what the future brings for you in GHS hockey as we get ready. And I hate to say this, but it's weird. When I can't even say next year, later this year, because you guys will be starting right after Thanksgiving, right? Because hopefully if COVID goes away and we don't have to worry about all these pandemics, you guys will be back on the ice as a team right after Thanksgiving of this year. It's only hopefully a few months away. Yeah, you guys have got a little bit of a rest, and then it's back at it again. But I want to say a big congratulations to you on what you've been able to achieve with this team, because it's been pretty special.
Thank you.
Hey, Kevin Bauman, where are you, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, Bobby?
Good. How you doing, Kev? How you been, buddy?
Great. Pretty great.
All right. Hey, listen, I got to tell you something. The Baumans, I hear Baumans and I hear athletics. It's just what I do with you guys. But I just want to say something to you. You come from a great school, too, where you're part of the Frontier clan. You guys are about work ethic when it comes to sports down there. What do you feel that you guys from Frontier have been able to bring to this hockey team with the work ethic that you guys have been able to see with all the other sports that you've played down there in South Deerfield?
Well, we compete every season, so there's always that level of competition we bring. Just being able to compete, to be a threat in the league, and so I think that's what we bring to the team, and that's what makes us so good.
I'm telling you, I always said that Frontier kids are a great asset to any team. And it's because of the work ethic that is done down there with the sports programs. And what it does is it makes people better. And it also gives people an idea of how they can find out and say, oh, now I know why Frontier sports are good. Because they start playing with people like you and they realize the work ethic that you guys put in. And with your brother leaving the program as a pretty special player himself, now you got brother Kevin in here. What's it feel like to be able to have been able to play with your bro and all your old friends from the Franklin County Hockey Association?
It's something you'll never forget. Like my whole life, I'll look back on it, always remember it. Being able to play with my brother, especially, that was incredible.
And to win a state championship too, man. The Bauman family must have been rocking when you guys were able to come home from that state championship too.
Yeah, that was a great time, definitely.
What do you feel was what do you think was the best part of this season, knowing that you had to go through a pandemic and to be able to come out and try to hope that you guys were going to be able to play without anyone getting sick or they're shutting down practices or programs because of someone that might have gotten the COVID virus? What was it like to be able to try to prepare yourself knowing that you don't know if there's going to be games or not, to be honest, when you first started?
Well, I was kind of worried at the beginning, but once you hit the ice, everything kind of flies out the door. All you're thinking about is playing, and being able to hit the ice 11 times, especially during these times, it was very special, and it was very nice to be able to play with my buddies again this year.
It's true. And like I was saying to Shane, you guys were lucky. You guys got 11 games in, man. I mean, that was sweet. You know, a lot of these basketball programs were only getting 8 games, and you guys were able to get 11 out of it. And also the best part was you got to play all your rival teams that you guys love, except for East Hampton, right? East Hampton was the only rival that you guys weren't playing against this year, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. What's it like to be able to know that you're only 6-7 months away from being able to be back together again? I mean, you're literally right around the corner from starting this back up one more time.
It's honestly too long. I wish it was next month, but
You're ready for next month? I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I was looking at what you've been able to contribute to your team, and what's important is what you guys are all being able to give. And for the team that you guys have had, it's really special to see that the diversity has been wonderful within all the schools that are playing together in this co-op program, but also knowing that you guys know each other and can be able to do your part. You don't have to overdo. And that's what I like about this team. And I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by overdoing. There's no overdoing when you got a guy who scores 12 goals, another guy scores 11, 2 guys that score 7, and then you got make that 3 guys that score 7, and then you got guys that are doing 4, 4, 3, 2. So where's the selfishness? There's no selfishness, is there?
Oh, no. Everyone's got a role in the team. Like you said, we got kids coming all over from different schools, not just from Frontier or Greenfield, but from all over. Everyone's bringing something. Everyone has a role. Everyone plays for a reason, and that's the beauty of being part of this team.
Well, listen, man, you got baseball coming up, right? You playing baseball?
Yeah.
So I already told Skinny I'll be down there to try to do a couple games on the FCAT so I can be able to see you guys, all right? I'll be able to see you and Kyle and good old Jacob, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you guys on the ball field during the spring because I have a lot of free time. So I'll be down to visit, all right?
All right, sounds good.
All right. Congratulations on a great year, buddy. Hey, Coach, I'm going to bring it back.
Hey, Bobby.
Coach Adam Bouchard, I got to tell you, look at these kids. Aren't they the best? You are so – how can you must be so blessed going home at the end of a day knowing that you're with a great group of people when you're going to practice every day.
You know, it really does start with all these student athletes, right? Everybody that is on this line, you know, and it really goes to the coaching staff. The amount of time that these men dedicate to these student athletes really amazes me. You know, we really love what we do as a coaching staff. And that's not only this game of hockey, but we really love getting the opportunity to be part of these young men and women's life and these student athletes through their high school careers to really help, you know, and be there through good times and bad times and really show, you know, what it takes to be a positive role member and doing that on the, you know, on the ice in a sport that we love. Being able to teach life lessons using the sport of hockey is something that, you know, I was lucky enough as a youth growing up. I had amazing coaches and people that always looked out for my best interests. And we as a coaching staff really like to pay it forward to every single one of the student athletes that come across and wear that green wave crest. And it shows. You look at how these student athletes have come together, you know, become, you know, one group, one team, and able to win state championships and go undefeated. Yes, that's great. But to really watch everybody work for each other is something that we really take pride in.
Absolutely. Well, there's one more guy that I got to hit up, and that's the guy between the pipes, as we say. You always save the goalie for last. I mean, I've done many hockey interviews, but I always like the goalie for last. Sophomore, Josh Bordeaux. Josh, how are you, kid?
I'm good, Bobby. How are you?
Hey, good, buddy. Good to see you, my friend. Hey, great season, dude. Great season. And, you know, you had a couple of holes that you guys were in a couple of those games, but boy, you guys found ways to be able to get out of them. And I mean, I tell you, being in the hole 3-0 against South Hadley and being able to come back and tie, that is just an unbelievable achievement. And I want to tell you something. You got 2 more solid years with this team. And to have the year that you've had is pretty impressive. And I don't know if you know this number, but I'm going to tell you a number that I know about you. I know that you had, according to my stats now, 222 saves on the year. That's what I got on my stat sheet, okay? And you only let up 19 goals, bud. That is a pretty amazing season. 19 goals was all you guys gave up this year as a team, and you were the man between the pipes. Let's talk.
The defense was very solid this year. Jacob Bryant, along with Rochi as our starting line, really helped me out. And it wasn't too bad that the forwards got a lot of goals for us too.
Well, we were just talking about how diverse you guys are, how many different people are able to contribute each and every night. And you're doing your job, though, bud. It's not an easy guy to be able to know that you're the man between the pipes and doing your job as the goalie. And I just want to tell you that I'll take those numbers any day. 222 stops and only 19 went in. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good year for you as a sophomore. And I think you did an amazing, amazing job having to come and try to fill shoes for a guy who had a pretty darn good career at GHS. And now the next 2 years are going to be under the thumb of Josh Bordeaux. He's going to be the guy that's going to be between the pipes for GHS hockey.
Thank you, Bobby.
What is your biggest experience from this whole thing this year? What came from this experience to you?
Well, I learned that it wasn't as hard as I was expecting to play against some of these older kids.
You felt comfortable?
Yeah.
Did you think that when you were coming up through as a young man, did you ever think that Greenfield High School hockey would be all these kids from the Franklin County Hockey Association? Would you ever imagine that this would be the way it would be?
Well, I personally, I thought I was going to Turner's. I never thought that it would be like that.
Yeah, and now look where you're at. Now you're hanging out with all your old buddies, and you guys all get to grow together as a team, and you guys continue to amaze our community. You got a lot of people that want to follow the hockey team, and the best part about it is we live in a very hockey community. What people don't realize is that we live in a hockey community, and that's what makes it special. And I just want to say the future's bright for you, my friend. Keep up the good work. Work hard. Keep yourself going. Keep yourself in shape. And don't worry, you still got a bunch of guys that are going to come back and being able to help you with the hockey team this year. So, and I said this year because right after Thanksgiving, you guys are back at it again, bud.
Thank you, Bobby.
All right. Congratulations. Doctor, the skate doctor, where are you?
Right
Doctor,
here, Bobby C.
Doc, first of all, Doc, thank you for everything that you have done for this hockey program. Thank you for everything that you have done for our community. And thank you for being that true leader that we need to be able to fill voids that we need help with. And you have been that guy. You have been there to be able to help fill voids, to make sure that the kids were able to have a broadcaster for games when they weren't able to have anybody. And you were able to stick with this team and be able to know all these kids. You are the man, and I have the utmost respect for you, Doc. And I just want to say thank you for everything that you've been able to do to help these young men to become better people.
Well, Bobby C, that's very kind. Thank you so much. None of this is about me, and Coach Bouchard mentioned it earlier. What we do is have a lot of fun with it, and the fact of the matter is we are doing our best to help develop these young men and young women into the citizens that a lot of times we aspire to be. So it's just an honor to be around such an energetic bunch. The coaching staff, the student athletes, just one of the greatest experiences of my life. And hard to believe I've been around them for 8 years already. I've seen a lot of these kids since they were squirts in the FCHA.
Exactly. That's the best part of this, is that you watched all these kids grow. And it's such an easy experience for you to be able to get at the high school level with them and say, oh, yeah, I know about Bryant. I know what he can do. I know what Prusak can do. I know what he's all about. I know that my son, yeah, he needs a little bit more of this and this, but you know what? He's going to get there. And now they're all one group representing GHS hockey.
Yeah, it's it might sound a little over the top, but it's a dream come true. You put yourself in my shoes, and 5-6 years ago, when there were still 2 programs out there, nobody could have seen this. Well, I take that back. Coach Bouchard sat down with me, and we finished up the state championship game last year with a comment that he had made to me 5 years prior. So go back to 2015. He and I sat down inside the lobby at the Collins Moylan Arena, and he started off the conversation by saying, "Doc, I've got a 5-year plan. 5 years later, there's a state championship. The future looks very bright. And while it's hard to lose student athletes like Kyle Barnes, Jacob Bryant, Derek Lanois, Aiden Roach, it's just part of it. We cycle through, and as they leave, you get the new crew come in. Shane Pruzak last year, Devin Niles this year. A lot of the freshmen got some serious ice time for an 11-game season this year. And as I said, the future looks really bright, and what a great time to be involved with Green Wave hockey.
I want to give a compliment to a kid. I remember when Derek Lanois, as coaching him in Little League, the kid, I didn't think the kid was ever going to grow. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think he was going to grow. I'm being straight up about this. I was really worried about him getting to that next level, being so small. But boy, watching what he was able to contribute to the team over the past 2 years really impressed me of what Derek was able to do. And a kid that I know loved hockey, and especially his dad. I probably think Ron's probably more upset that his son's graduating than him, because I've known Ron for so long. But, there's an example of a kid who I wasn't sure was going to be able to grow. And then MJ Pollan growing 4 inches in literally a year and a half, But these kids have all developed into just great men and really damn good contributors to this program.
Yeah, Derek Lanois is a great example because, as you said, he was on the smallish side. The last couple of years, he got some size, some upper body strength, and especially in that state championship game last year, I love a hockey player that's willing to go in the corners and get down and dirty, get those greasy goals. And Derek turned into that kind of a hockey player, and he brought more of the same this season. MJ, I'm not sure if it was 4 inches or 4 feet that he grew.
MJ, 4 feet.
He and I had a conversation during the season that you go along the lineage of the Boston Bruins. You got guys like Hal Gill moved up to Zdeno Chara, and you see a guy like MJ, and really the sky's the limit. So again, how lucky am I to be involved with a crew like this?
It's been a wonderful experience, but you've been a part of this program too, and those kids love you, Doc. You're very well respected by each and every one of those men that are on the ice. And the one thing that I can say about you is I've always appreciated what you've been able to give back to our community. I mean, I could sit down with Todd Howe. I could sit down with Chris Collins. I can sit down with Coach Bouchard. I can talk with all the assistants. Love it. I could talk to Petrin, and they're all going to say the same thing. You're very well respected in this community, and especially over there at the Collins Moylan Arena. And what you give back to this community over there at that rink on Bar Ave is pretty darn special. And I just want to say, continue to keep doing that, because your son's got 2 more years, and they need you to be able to be there to help guide the way of keeping your son in check so that they can continue the great success.
Well, I really appreciate that, Bobby C. And as long as I've got a public platform here, it's a two-way street. I love everybody on this screen. I love everybody who passes through the program. And it's not anything like a job. This is truly a family, and I'm blessed to be part of it.
Well, we're blessed to have you, and we're blessed to have each and every one of those folks that are on the screen right now as well. Coach Bouchard, I'm going to come back to you. Thank you, Doc, very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Adam, I just got to say one thing. I want to make sure that we let you have an opportunity to be able to share the platform as far as who you would like to be able to little words about your departing seniors. I'm going to let you take over the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So if you think about it, every year, this is one of the beautiful things about high school sports is, you get 4 years to really help develop these student athletes grow into positive community members. And when you look at it this year, we do graduate 6 seniors. And it starts with a young man by the name of Evan DeBrule, who Evan was, he started playing ice hockey a little bit later on in life, was a great ball hockey player, and was able to play some junior varsity hockey here for Green Wave. And then for senior night, Evan was invited to come out for that senior game, that senior night against Ludlow. And story would you have it, first varsity shift, first time touching the puck on the varsity ice, Evan passes the puck up and gets an assist. You can't really write that in a movie, if you will. And it's really great to see Evan's hard work that he's put in his skating skills. And I know he's going to be a positive community member as he graduates forward. And then you look at another student athlete like Casey Hoffman, who came into our program, spent many years, again, working extremely hard. And one thing that we really learned about Casey over the last handful of years that he's been in this program is he bleeds green. He really does. I will tell you, he came up to me multiple times after practice this year and said, Coach, I'm extremely proud and thank you for having me practice. I can't wait for our next game. I'm going to do everything I can to get our team ready in practice today. I'm going to work as hard as I can. So that really goes to show what, a lot of these student athletes bring to the table when they come through their senior year. Right. And then you move right on through. We've already touched on Derek Lanoy, right? Derek Lanoy has been the longest tenured person on this program, right? Derek was one of the lucky student athletes who was able to play as an 8th grader. So he joined the program as an 8th grader and then was able to come through for those final 4 years after the 8th grade year. And as Skate Doc and yourself had really managed, Derek may not be the biggest in physical stature, if you will, but boy, did he play like one of those big boys. If you want to look at him as that gritty forward, you wouldn't expect to see Derek Lanoy coming out of the corner with the puck sometimes when he does. And really great to see what he's going to do with his life moving forward. I believe he's going to be looking to study some political science, and I'm really looking forward to what Derek is going to bring to the community. Really going to miss every single one of these student athletes as they graduate. Right? You look at Aiden Roach, another player who joined us as a sophomore, came in and had an immediate impact when you talk about on the ice. I believe Aiden Roach scored his first varsity goal, his first varsity game as well. So it's something that I know he's extremely proud of, and coming through 3 straight years of playing hockey on the Green Wave program, being a vocal leader, if you will, on the ice, off the ice. He has passion that he wears it on his sleeve, and it's something that we're going to truly miss. And, Roach puts in a lot of work, and looking forward to when he graduates. I know he's still deciding on a couple schools he's going to choose from, but I'm really looking forward to what Roachy brings to the community as well. Then we continue right through to the 2 gentlemen that are on this call right now, Jacob and Kyle. And, we talk about it on senior night, what Jacob has done for the program, a lot of things from behind the scenes. Jacob was a huge instrumental part in a lot of our Learn to Skates over the previous years. This year is a little bit different because of the global pandemic. But Jacob, if you look at him, for those who don't know, Jacob, I don't know, about 6'2", 6'3", 230. Jacob is a big physical specimen. And when you put Jacob out on the ice with a lot of 2, 3, 4-year-olds, he really is a giant. But you know what? It was great to see Jacob really put time and effort and really created a passion for hockey in a lot of the younger hockey players in the community. And it's something that, was going to be missed through that Learn to Skate program, is really that big jolly giant that would come into the rink, nothing but a smile. His passion for the game, his passion for his team is going to be something that I think was passed on throughout his 4 years of playing Green Wave hockey.
Can I share something with you that's funny? I want to share something funny with you. Out of all these kids on this roster right here, there's only one name that really breathes hockey going back to many years ago, and that's Bryant. The Bryant family has lived at the Collins Mullen Arena. There's probably cots in the back room for the family members that have been through the hockey program. The Bryant family in Collins Mullen Arena has been a pretty special place for that family. Telling you.
Yeah, lucky they live right around the corner from the rink, so that definitely helps, right? and then you got Kyle Barnes, right? You look at it. I love what Kyle has done in his 4 years of the program here. You look at it. Kyle had that role as a freshman. I don't know, Barnesy, before playoffs, maybe 3 shifts throughout the regular season, but showed up to practice every single day to work hard and work hard and work hard and learn what the Green Wave way is. And not only that, he goes from coming in as a freshman, again, Kyle is part of that Magic Green line from last year and led a line this year with Derek Lanois and Matt Lavoine, and was another guy that, doesn't have the size of a Jacob Bryant, but if you didn't know, you would think he was as big, if not bigger, for what he delivered on the ice. And what Kyle was able to do is come in and be a captain and really lead this team. I know Kyle's passion is huge for not only sports, but for life and for what he's going to do when he graduates high school. And as I've told all these seniors before, this year, I truly appreciate the opportunity to be part of your lives. And not only were you student athletes on this program, but I consider you all friends as well. So, that's what these seniors have really brought to this program throughout their time. I will say it again. Not very often can you sit here and say that I graduated my high school career at 60, 11, and 5 tilt. More importantly, built tremendous friends, really became positive role models in society. And I'm really looking forward to what every single one of them brings to the community as they graduate. Thank you so much.
Amen. And guys, you couldn't ask for a better leader than Adam and the great coaching staff over there at GHS. I mean, you guys are darn lucky. I want to do a recap, but I want to share some information that I thought would be pretty valuable to our viewers here. First of all, Kyle Barnes, according to now, these are Bobby C stats. They're as close as I think I got, but I think I did a good job with my homework. Kyle Barnes, 12 goals, 8 assists, 20 points on the year. Then I got Devin Niles for 11 goals, 9 assists. He had 20 points on the year, according to my numbers. Shane Prusak, I have 7 goals and 11 assists. I called him the assist master at having 11 this year, and he had 18 points on the year. Jacob had 7 goals, 9 assists for 16 points, according to my stats. Sammy Knight had 7 goals, 7 assists, 14 points. Matt Lavoine, I had 4 goals, 4 assists for 8 points. Derek Lanois, 3 goals, 5 assists for 8 points. Brody Gagne, first career varsity points for this guy, ends up with 2 goals and 2 assists, and really started to become a really big part of really helping your team out near the end of the year, Coach.
Yeah, it goes to show what we try to do in this program and what these leaders that you see on the screen right now, you've got some folks on here that are sophomores, some juniors, some seniors. We have some freshmen that came into the program and were significant contributors. Every single one of us has a job. We work to one goal, and it's really great to see that, we have the ability to have some depth like we do and really show the freshmen that are here this year and the incoming class next year what it's going to take. And nothing better than these leaders to be able to show that.
Absolutely. Well, let's keep going. We got MJ Pollen. We had 1 goal and 2 assists for MJ. We had Kevin Bauman with 2 goals. That was his total for 2 points. Trevor Kacheski had a goal and an assist for 2 points. We talked about Evan. Evan with that big assist, his first career varsity point for GHS. And we also had Gabe Voudrin with an assist. And we can't forget, like you said, our good buddy Casey Hoffman. And by the way, Casey Hoffman, I coached in Little League as well. So I've been a pretty damn fortunate guy. Big number for the goalie, Josh Bordeaux, 222 saves, according to my numbers. And then, of course, 19 goals that led up, but a 3-to-1 ratio, Coach. Let's talk about that quick. 3-to-1 ratio between your offense and what your defense led up.
It's always funny when you sit down and talk with the coaching staff, right? You have some folks that are responsible for goaltender work, some folks that are responsible for defensive work and offensive work. And I happen to be one of the offensive guys, so I really like that side of the puck. But when you look at it, you do build championship teams from the defensive side out. And when you really look at that 3-to-1 ratio, it starts with between the pipes here with Joshua, with his defenders, whether that's the forwards or defense, and really transitioning that play from our defensive zone to the offensive zone. It's something that we take great pride in. Special teams are something else that we also take great pride in. And I'll tell you what, Bobby C, something that is never, I don't know if I've ever seen it before, but our power play this year ended at a 50% clip. So that means 1 out of every 2 times we get on the power play, we scored a power play goal. That was something that's really special. And it goes to show, again, the leadership on this team. The coaching staff really loves what we do. And hats off. And I love every single person that's part of this Green Wave program. And looking forward to see what the next year and beyond brings.
All right. Our hour's up. I want to thank all you guys for being able to come on. GHS Hockey, 10-0-1. They are the team that won the state 3A championship last year. They are the GHS best team in 76 years, and you had a chance to see it right here on the Franklin County Varsity Sports Report. I'm Bobby C., and for all you guys, including the skate doctor, Adam Bouchard, I want to wish you all the best, and thank you so much for tuning into the Franklin County Varsity Sports Report. Have a great night, everyone.